got to be about their stories, about the people they care about, and about the moment in time that they can never get back. They all have stories to tell.
What you're creating lasts a lifetime. At most of my schools, it's the only history book produced at the school.
Our job is to really capture people's lives and memorialize them.
The yearbook is a love letter a school writes to itself.
You always want to ask meaningful questions because then you're going to get meaningful answers.
There's just a true love for the students and what we're doing.
And what Herff Jones has offered me is invaluable.
When they say we're in this together, we really are.
I want someone to come in and tell me, hey, this is how you do it better.
Well, welcome back everyone, and welcome to the 2019 school year. Happy Labor Day, and I hope you had a wonderful summer. This is Jamie Silver with Herff Jones Yearbook, part of Varsity Brands, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Yearbook Podcast. For those of you returning, you may remember this podcast that I put out once a month, and generally speaking, the first of the month, so you can watch out for those in the future. Depending on holidays like Labor Day, I tend to delay it a little bit just to give everyone a chance to get back to school and back into the swing of things. But generally speaking, you can be watching out for this the first of the month. And this is just one of those resources I like to provide schools that provides you timely information throughout the school year, and one that's on demand. So of course you'll be working with myself and Sarah Eagle and all the folks in Kansas City. But in the meantime, you have this on demand for you to watch really anytime and any device you'd like. So it's a great option for you throughout the school year. And please hit the subscribe button. So in order to maintain access and receive, the push notifications on the new episodes and special events, and stay tuned, we're adding more of those this year, please do subscribe now so you get those as they come. Now, in the notes below, we've included some details for the topics we're going to cover. So if you look below the video, I've gone in and added the times for the different topics that are covered each month, so you can jump to the topics that you need that time of year. So feel free to fast forward as you need. And today we're going to cover a bunch of stuff. So in summary, we're going to cover some recaps of the summer events that we put on. Many of you came to join us, and thank you. For those of you who didn't, we'd love to have you join us next time. We're going to cover a bunch of technology updates, including some really powerful new tools we have for you this school year, as well as a new curriculum, both for yearbooking, but also InDesign, for those listening who use InDesign. We're also going to talk about yearbook sales and many options that we have for you, including the revised parent email campaign that you may be familiar with. And we're going to talk all about that to help you sell the books in your school and your community. And we're going to close with 3 takeaways for you of what to do next, because I'm going to throw a bunch of information at you, and it's just a lot to cover this year, so we're going to jump in. And to start, I'd like to share with you a couple photos from this summer that we had at camp, as well as an event for teachers. Now, these photos here are from the summer yearbook camp we do at Lake Forest Academy, and we have overnight options for those of you who are commuting. For those of you staying, and then most people commute, but for those of you listening that are a little bit further north, we do have overnight options with dorms and all that. But it's a really great event to get a head start on the school year. We have a lot of fun, as you might tell, for some of these photos, but we cover everything yearbook related, right? So we're going to talk about interviewing, photography, layout and design, all the computer technology classes. As you see here with my colleague Maureen, we're going to start in paper and brainstorm. We're going to brainstorm with you and talk about theme ideas and just getting things thought through for the school year, and get some ideas for your ladder and review things for this year's yearbook compared to last year's. So we had a really cool guest speaker this time, Elise Swoops, as you see in the photo here. She was awesome. You may know her from Instagram. If you do not, please go look for her. You can find her on my Instagram as well. And she ran our photography session, and she taught us some really cool things, and she's got a really cool eye. So take a look for her on Instagram as well. But Yearbook Camp is a great place to just get a head start for the school year. So if you're in these photos, I hope you don't mind me sharing them here again, but if you're not and you're interested in hearing more about the summer yearbook camp, please let me know, because we'd love to have you join us next school year. again, we have options for commuting and residents staying in the dorms. So that is Yearbook Camp real quick. Now, I do want to show you some pictures of another event we hosted in Kansas City. And this event is geared more towards teachers. And the reason it's in Kansas City, as I flip through these photos here, is it's in a conference space of a hotel nearby. But the reason it's in Kansas is, as you may know, your books are printed in Kansas City. And the beauty of hosting this training event here is we cover all very similar topics as I just described with the Yearbook Camp, but they're more designed to help you as the teacher, those of you listening, to run the yearbook class and the club. Then we put you on a bus and we take you down to the Kansas City plant where you get to meet Sarah Eagle in person and all the folks in Kansas City who actually make your yearbooks. And it's really cool, if you haven't seen it before, to see behind the scenes and how the books are actually made. We have some really great speakers here from all over the U.S. As you can tell, we have a lot of fun as well. We always like to have fun at yearbook events. And it was packed. I think we had 70 people or so from all over the U.S. We bring in laptops, and we have this training facility to cover everything related that you're going to be working on this school year. So this is the Kansas City Advisor event. If this is something of interest to you, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to share more information with you on this for next summer. Now, those are just a recap of the event. Now we're going to jump into new stuff for this year. Now, many of you who, and by the way, this is Sarah. This is myself and Sarah. You've probably met me before, but if you're new to the Herff Jones family, this is also Sarah Eagle. She and I work hand in hand, and she is in the Kansas City plant. So you're welcome to call either of us. We work hand in hand all school year. Now, many of you listening to this podcast have probably listened to some of the videos that I share, and they are done by our friend Mark Childers, and he covers all things related to the yearbook tools and whatnot. Most of them are under 2 minutes or so we try to piece them out in chunks that are something we can take in. And the ones I want to share with you today, the first one is regarding e-business. So for those of you listening who are selling your yearbooks at school and possibly online, eBiz is the site, and still is, where we record all those sales. What I wanted to draw your attention to real quick today is we are phasing out the name, the eBiz URL, right? The website. It's the same site, but we're integrating it more with the one you've known. We've had it for a few years, called myhjyearbook.com. And that's the portal. That's where, if you're going to remember one website and bookmark one, you're going to want to bookmark, and everyone listening, students and teachers, myhjyearbook.com. And specifically regarding eBiz, because when you go to myhjyearbook.com, you have the options to jump into any of our sites. You only have to log in, one time. It knows who you are and takes you into the sites. This video specifically is all about eBiz that's integrated more. So I'd like to share that with you now.
To access the new version of eBiz, log in at myhjyearbook.com. At myhjyearbook.com, the navigation menus are organized around the types of things you want to do: design, sell, run reports, etc. You'll find the normal eBiz features in these locations. From the Sell menu, you access the page where you enter yearbook and add sales. From Run Reports, you can run sales reports. And from Setup, the advisor can set up the business staff and set up sales. I'll go to the Enter Sales area. We've added a new way to deliver help and instruction to you right within the app. On the eBiz pages, it lives in this little widget right here. Click to launch it and then scroll through the topics or search for something specific. The help can come in a few different forms. Topics with an icon like this are walkthroughs. Launching this will guide you through a particular task or take you on a tour of a feature. Topics like this will launch a quick video tutorial. The data listing in Sales and Reports has a new look. You can click any heading to sort by that column, and you can drag and drop columns to move them around. Searching and filtering is a lot easier too. Let's say I know the student's first name is Samantha. I'll go to the first name field and start typing Samantha, and just like that, the list is filtered. I'll remove the text to clear the search. We've added some nice column options for both the Enter Sales and the Reports area. This allows you to easily hide columns of data that are not of interest to you. I encourage you to check out the video on sorting and filtering data. It provides some great tips around new ways you can work with data in eBiz. We hope you enjoy the new look and feel.
And that's the key, as Mark said. It's a new look and feel. It's not all brand new. We just gave it a new look, but added a few more functions to it. But again, you want to start by going to myhjyearbook.com for really everything, but you'll be able to jump into the eBiz site as he just showed you there. So any questions on eBiz, please let me know. Next video I want to jump into from Mark is about the Flash player. Now, Flash is just one of those things. It's a free download from Adobe that's required to use some of our sites. And the reason I'm sharing the video today this time of year, I should say, is over the summer, you may have gotten a new computer yourself. Your school may have updated your computers or gotten new ones entirely. And Flash is often one of those things that sometimes is overlooked as far as installing. Again, doesn't cost anything. But more importantly, sometimes we just have to activate it, enable it. So this quick little video I want to share this time of year because it's probably one of the most common questions that we get. So I just want to share with you now in how to activate it so you're ready to hit the ground running.
Certain parts of eDesign require the Flash Player plugin to be installed and activated. If Flash Player is not activated, when you navigate to one of these pages in eDesign, you'll see a blank area under the navigation bar. Let's look at how to activate Flash Player on two of our most common browsers, Chrome on Windows or Mac, and Safari on Mac. If you're not using one of these two browsers, or if these instructions don't work on your machine, contact tech support for assistance in enabling Flash in your browser. Let's start out with Chrome. If you navigate to the Book module in eDesign and you see a blank page, go up to the menu bar at the top to the left of the URL and click on this button where it says Secure. Then come down to Flash and choose Allow for Flash. If you don't see this Flash option here, you can go to Site Settings, and then when that page loads, go to the Flash area and choose Allow. Once you've chosen Allow there, you can close the tab, and then you should see this option to reload the page, or you can click on the Reload button to reload this page, and that should pull in the Flash component of the eDesign library. All right, let's take a look at Safari on Mac. But let's go up to the Safari menu and choose Preferences. Then go over to the Websites tab in Preferences. If Flash Player is installed on your machine, you should see it listed under Plugins, and you can check the box beside it to enable it. Or if it's already enabled, you'll go over here and make sure that it's turned on for the current page we're on, hjyedesign.com. So I'll set that to on, and then once I've done that, I can close Preferences. And then I want to navigate away and then come back to this book module. So I'm going to go back to the home page and then come back to the book module. And that should then load in that Flash component and show you the ladder in eDesign.
Again, if you have any questions on that, please let me know. It's just one of those little things that I'd like to just share it up front. Call tech support, call me if you have any questions. If a browser is not loading, there are so many different browsers. And as we integrate HTML5 more and revise eDesign, it's just one of those things. If you have questions or run in, just give me a call. Sarah call, one of our tech support will help you through it. Now, with that out of the way, I want to jump into the fun stuff. So, new school year, new tools, new resources. Then the one I want to share with you next is called Task Manager. And I have, again, a short little video that introduces it with Mark. But the idea with Task Manager, for those listening, no matter where you fall as far as, you've been doing Yearbook for many, many years, or you're brand new to it, you may or may not have a system in place to organize all the tasks and resources that go in to publishing such a large publication at school. So you may have a system, like I said, whether it's in paper form, Google Sheets, or Excel, or really, there's a lot of options, and those all work. So if you have a system that works really well, I don't want to rock the boat, but I want to offer you something that we're providing at no cost. If you need something a little bit better, or you want it to be cloud-based, maybe it's not cloud-based right now. So Task Manager is all cloud-based and heavily focused on moving even more and more on the mobile platform. So you'll be able to do more and more features on, say, iOS and Android devices, tablets, phones, and all that. And really, it's an environment for you as the yearbook staff to organize, track, and record just all those little details, all those to-do lists, who's assigned to what, when it's due, all that stuff, right? Photography, captions, all the pieces that we all bring together to create this yearbook publication, and just communicate in an efficient way as a group. So Short video to introduce it. Again, any questions, do let me know, but I'm excited to share this with you, and it's available today.
When you launch Task Manager, you're taken to the home page. You'll see a progress graphic for the upcoming deadline, a list of upcoming tasks, and your tasks with recent comments. In My Tasks, you can view your tasks in a weekly calendar view or a list view. The calendar view shows your tasks due each day, events added to the calendar, and the page submission deadline you're working on, represented by this bar at the top. The list view shows a task, any associated event, the page submission deadline to which it's assigned, and the due date. You can mark a task as complete, and it moves to the completed tasks area in the list below. In the deadlines view, all the page submission deadlines are listed on the left. The overview screen shows a quick view of how many tasks are completed and remaining for each deadline. When you select a specific deadline, you view the calendar for those weeks. If you click an event, it brings up the details pane showing the tasks associated with that event. When you click to open a specific task, you see the due date for the task, the staff person assigned, and the associated page submission deadline. In the All Tasks area, you can filter the tasks in a variety of ways. Editors and advisors can bulk assign tasks to individual staff members and deadlines. And that's a quick look at Task Manager.
I don't know about you guys listening, but that's just awesome. I love the idea of having this at our fingertips, right? We don't even have to be in your yearbook room where you might have, all this stuff laid out on bulletin boards and clearly identified who's doing what when. But to be able to pull this up on the fly, say on your phone, on your mobile phone, I just think that's really powerful and really cool. Now, it's one of those things where it's new this year. You saw a preview there, and as you start to play with it, if you choose to, again, there's no cost involved. Feel free to jump in. Call me and let me know. I'd be happy to get you started. But as you go through it, please do share your feedback with me, any suggestions, because this is one of those things where, we've built the platform, we've built the foundation, so to speak, and it's up and running, but there's a huge list of things we've already brainstormed of, boy, wouldn't it be cool if, and fill in the blank. And we'd love to hear your feedback on that as well. So please feel free to play with it, use it this year. And as you do, if you come up with new ideas, please share with me directly, and I'll get those back to the team for development. Okay, switching gears now. For those of you listening who use eDesign, you're welcome to skip this part if you'd like, because this is geared more towards InDesign. However, if you're curious about InDesign, or for those listening who do use InDesign to create your yearbook, I am happy to announce today we have a brand new InDesign Curriculum, and it's video-based with advisor guide as PDF, as well as each lesson has a student guide and a PDF that comes along with it. So I'm going to show you again another little video from Mark here that talks about it. But it's really cool in the fact that the advisor, for you listening in the room, you can download everything as it's compiled into one file for download for all the lessons. So I'm going to play this little video here, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes.
Hello and welcome to the Introduction to InDesign Curriculum. I know you might be tempted to skip this video, but hang in there. It's important to watch this to understand how the curriculum works and what we assume about your setup.
And I'm going to pause Mark there just for a second. I wanted to add, this is one video of several. This is just the intro, as Mark just said. It's easy to skip this one. That's why I want to play it for you today. But know that there's a bunch of other videos that go along with it throughout the school year.
The curriculum comprises 5 lessons designed to introduce you to the basics of using InDesign for yearbook production. Posted alongside this video, you'll find a download link to the exercise files. You'll want to download these files in order to follow along with the exercises. They download as a zip file, so extract them and move them to a location that works for your setup. Each lesson has a series of video tutorials that present the content. Each tutorial is around 3 minutes long, so they're pretty easy to get through. Each lesson also has a student guide you download as a PDF from the lesson page. The lesson guide walks you through the lesson and contains questions to answer based on the video content and instructions for practice activities and for completing the sample layout that the curriculum walks you through. The tutorials show up in a player like this, with each tutorial in the lesson listed across the bottom. Here's what we're assuming. We assume you're working with InDesign CS5 or later, and that you have the HJ extensions installed. Most of the information presented in the lessons will apply to earlier versions of InDesign, but the extensions will not be the same for earlier versions. We're also assuming you have the Herff Jones fonts installed. However, the exercise files contains a fonts folder with only the fonts used in this exercise. Having these fonts installed is required to follow along with the lessons verbatim. And that's it. You're now ready to jump into the Introduction to InDesign Curriculum.
Now, if you use InDesign, I think you'll see this as a great, valuable tool to learn the ropes and get started with that awesome program. Now, for the rest of us, would like to also share with you today another curriculum that is for everyone listening. This is How to Yearbook. So this covers not just a program like InDesign or eDesign, but this is all about photojournalism, yearbook as a class, yearbook as a club. Feel free to use what you'd like. But this is How to Yearbook the Herff Jones way. It's ready and available. It's cloud-based, so it's all on our website, as well as some booklets that you can get from us in the mail, and you may be getting some samples of that. But if you're interested in what you see here, and if you receive a sample in the mail and you'd like more, do let me know. But it is made up of 12 modules featuring 110 activities with icebreakers, team builders, skill building, checklists, handouts, and worksheets. There's also an educational standards chart and scope with a sequence chart that helps you plan it as the teacher and use this as a, like you would any other curriculum. The beauty is you can access this today at learnybk.com. So www.learnybk.com, and use the same username and password you already know for eDesign for what you use on our website. And everyone listening can use this no matter what program you're using. So this is the website where you can kind of see how it all comes together. And I'm just going to poke around here a little bit and show you what these look like, because there's little pieces that you download, including PowerPoint. Here's the scope and sequence I mentioned earlier. Surviving the first week. Many of you listening to this, you might want to redirect your attention here and get some helpful tips. Job descriptions of everyone on Yearbook, positions, routines, contracts, all kinds of great stuff in here, including grading and contact information, summer projects, something to think about for next school year. Coming this May, if you get your books in May, distribution day, checklist. So again, all kinds of stuff. This is just the first intro. I'm going to jump into one down here real quick. And there's one in my world, camera and photos. That's my passion that brought me to Yearbook as a kid. And this has a PowerPoint file that you're welcome to download and use, scavenger hunt, and just some fun things, including the scavenger hunt, but also checklists and assignment sheets, and then basic rules, rule of thirds and all that, some basic photo composition ideas to learn to improve your photography. So that's just a quick overview, but again, you can access this today at learnybk.com and log in with the same username and password. Now, we are running long. As I said, the first one of the year is always longer on the podcast. We're at 20 odd minutes now, but I do want to share 2 more quick videos, and that will be all for today. And this is on Square One. Now, for those of you listening who have used it, you're going to see in these new videos, it's going to be a great way to help you, one, get set up, and the second one is how to use Square One. For those of you who are not familiar with Square One, in a very brief description, Square One is a structure that you have available to you within eDesign as well as InDesign, for those listening, that helps you design those award-winning looking layouts on your own and fast forward the learning curve. I don't know how else to say it. You're going to see in the video here, but it divides the page up into chunks. We provide you with a bunch of those pieces that you can drag and drop in, and you can also create your own. And the beauty there is it's, back in the day we called it modular design. So that part of it, the concept isn't new. The new part is we've integrated it really well and seamlessly with your program, eDesign and InDesign, but also provided you a structure to work within and then a group of pieces that you can drag and drop. So it might make sense after I show these 2 videos. The first one here is how to get Square One set up.
The first step in Square One setup is to set your preferences. Log into eDesign and go to Book Setup. Then go to Preferences. Set the Swiss grid to On. You should also set the page grid to 1/2 pica and set the columns per page to 1. You'll also want to adjust the margin settings based on the trim size of your book. On screen, you see the settings for each trim size. A document listing these is available for download in eDesign Help, and a link in the top right corner of the video will download the file. Next, you'll want to activate Square One templates and mods. Go to the Library section of eDesign. Open the Templates area, and then click the button under Import Items. Select Import HJ Templates and click Next. In the Square One folder, you'll see options for full templates, which are spread layouts with Square One mods already in place, and separator templates, which have different configurations for the placement of the separators, which set the rails of white space on your spread. Select and activate the templates you desire. They will then appear in the Templates section of your library. To activate Square One mods, go to the Pop-in section and click the button under Import Items. In the Square One folder, you'll see subfolders for the mods organized by their grid dimensions. Select and activate the mods you desire, and they will then appear in the Pop-in section of your library. Each mod has the grid dimensions in its name, so you can search by a particular set of dimensions, for instance 3x12, to see all mods of that size. You're now set up and ready to begin your pages. Watch the tutorial listed on screen for instruction on laying out pages with Square One.
Now, as Mark said, that's how you set it up. Those are the steps to get all the resources in. You saw the separators, those pink lines. And I meant to say this earlier, for those watching this video right now, if you've used Square One, you know what it does. It has that modular design I spoke to, and he showed you the 3x2, 3x12 and all that, the pieces you move in. I did want to step back again for those of you who might be new to Yearbook or new to Square One. We also have something called Go Design. Now, that's something you and I may have talked about already. It comes in your kit. I believe it's a pink spiral-bound booklet. But Go Design, the main difference is Go Design is a whole book look of templates that are done, basically. You can edit them, and I'm happy to show this to you if you'd like in school. But Go Design is a collection of a whole book look from cover to cover, end sheet, table of contents, athletics, people section, basically all the clip art, the fonts, the whole collection that makes that book look and feel cohesive is quite literally labeled as book 1, 2, 3. I think we have 14, and we activate it, and then you have everything set up, and you just drag a whole layout onto a page, and you're done. You just put your photos in and obviously change the text from the template. Where Square One is a tool to help you design your own pages, but in an efficient manner. So I think this next video might help as far as how to use it, and I'll be right back.
I'm here in Page Design with a spread open with the Square One grid active. I'll start by applying a separator template to the spread. I'll go to the Templates section of the library and locate the separator configuration I want. Then I'll just drag and drop the template anywhere on the spread. Next, we'll add some mods. This area on my template is 5 grids by 11 grids, so I'll go to the Pop-in section of the library and use the search field to type in 5 by 11 with no spaces. Now I see all the mods that are that size. I can click the magnifying glass to open a larger preview. If you don't have mods of a particular size, the editor or advisor can activate more using the link shown here. To place a mod, click and drag to the spread. Since a mod is just part of a layout, you need to direct it to the proper location. You'll see a ghosted preview of the mod attached to your mouse cursor, but for proper placement, ignore that and focus on the tip of your arrow cursor. Place the arrow point at the top left corner of the mod and release. It should drop exactly in the right spot. But all the elements are initially selected, so you can click and drag if you need to adjust the whole group. Once you complete a spread layout, you can save it as a template to allow you or other staff members to reuse this configuration. You can also save individual custom mods. If you create a new mod from scratch or adjust an existing mod, select all parts of the mod and then right-click or control-click on a Mac and choose Save as Pop-in. Give the mod a name and click Save. It's recommended that you save the mod with its dimensions at the beginning of the name so it will come up with all the other mods of that size. When you've completed your layout, you can delete the separators for a clean view of your spread. And that's the basics of working with Square One templates and mods in eDesign.
Again, for those of you wanting to design your pages from scratch or with some assistance, I think you're going to love this tool, Square One. Again, any questions about that, please let me know. My goal today was just to give you a brief overview of all of the tools we provide, and we offer a lot of them. I always like to say I'd like to show you all the tools in our toolbox for you to pick and choose what fits your needs, and that might change year to year. So it's a new year, and I just wanted to regroup and kind of show you Square One and those new videos that kind of help you get started if you're interested. We've covered a lot. It's about half an hour in, and we're gonna close now, but in the podcast we've covered a lot of tools, and the last 3 critical subjects I just wanted to regroup with. At the beginning I mentioned there's 3 things to walk away with. And the first one is yearbook sales. For those of you listening who have your sales taken care of for you in the office or at registration, you're done. For the rest of us who need to manage yearbook sales either at school or at school and online, we are here to help, and we have a ton of resources. In fact, we have an entire office in our Kansas City facility, the Order Center, and that's all they do is they help you sell your books, and they help schools do that all over the U.S. So if you have any questions about yearbook sales, please just call me directly, send me an email, whatever you'd like, because we have a lot of tools, including direct email campaigns we send to parents who haven't bought a book yet with a button that takes them directly to your order page on our website. A lot of options there. So that's number 1. Number 2, as far as things to walk away from right now this first week, is coverage, right? Since school opened, it's really important to focus on coverage, getting pictures, stories, captions, all of the above to make sure we cover what's happening at your school. Because reality is all that other stuff we've talked about, all the tools to create layouts, Square One, Go Design, all the details and how to create a page are meaningless if we don't have anything to put on it. So I urge you to focus on coverage from day one. The rest will fall into place, and the rest will fall in place with our help. That's why you have Sarah, myself, our tech support team. You've got realistically a couple dozen people on our team here to answer your questions, walk you through, and assist you all school year. So don't let that bog you down right now. It's early in the school year. Coverage is most important. And then the third final reminder, the takeaway, is to bookmark, please, myhjyearbook.com. Again, eBiz website, the URL is going away, and we're just rolling that into that website we've had for a few years now, myhjyearbook.com. In closing, if you have any questions on sales specifically, setting up your yearbook sales, or if you just want to repeat what you did last year, just send me an email and say, hey, please set up my yearbook sales, same as they were last year. I'll just take care of it for you. If you have any questions about things to offer, if you want to jump in on the parent email campaign that's free or anything else we provide, and we have a ton of options, please do let me know. It's that time of year where we want to make it easy and efficient for everyone in your community to purchase the book that you're undertaking right now and creating. So that's step 1. Please call, email anytime. We can review plans this year, theme ideas, schedule our next phone call, virtual meeting, in-school visit, come visit you in school, or even an artist session. We can do that virtually as well, where we bring in the artists from Kansas City, and they can help make that cover of your dreams a reality. Now, in closing, speaking of covers, keep in mind, for everyone listening who gets their books in the spring, so May, June, Halloween is our deadline. That's when we're going to get your cover and end sheets done. So that is probably your next priority as well, as far as designing the cover, or to whatever extent you want us to help you with. We are happy to help you create that too. So have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.